What is it about Stizzy that makes us so insane for them? Is it the bitch for bitch content? Is it how tender they can be with each other? Or is it the us between Con and Rhys? Find out ahead in the Stizzy episode of our Flag Means fan fiction. Hello, everybody. Yes. Welcome to our Flag Means fan fiction, which is the podcast where we talk about our Flag Means death and fanfiction and all the other stuff that comes along with all that things. So today we have a returning spooky ghost, Tessa, who did not show up for the Christmas episode last week, but I think I referred to you as the ghost of Christmas future because
I prefer to think of myself as the ghost of Christmas tits.
We weren't sure if you'd show up, so you did in the future. Tessa's alive, everybody. Yay. We also have...
For now.
Yeah, for now. We also have returning Krill, another sexy, maybe not ghost, from across the pond. We have England representing, whether they like it or not. I like it.
Again, we can swap anytime you like.
Come on over. And we have new to the podcast today. We have Albus, who I know that everybody who does any kind of Izzy fandom related anything will recognize Albus's fan works, the art, amazing. They do the banana men, and just recently did this amazing Stizzy striptease piece where every so many likes or whatever, a new piece of clothing would come off Izzy, and I got great joy out of that piece. So thank you very much for your services.
Thank you.
And of course, I'm Ringa, the scum of the fandom. So hey guys, how's it going? How are you? Yeah, okay,
alive.
Good.
Yeah, we're alive.
Alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic.
It's been a rough 2024, but it's almost over. So maybe it will get better. Who knows? Probably not. But we're gonna go into
Don't say that. We're
gonna go
cursed,
into it with some gay fanfic and just be ready to take on whatever comes our way. So, what gay pirate things have happened to you guys recently, Tessa?
Okay. Oh well, many. I'm gonna go with So we did all meet up in person recently,
right? All four of us were at Columbus Galaxy Con. So very excited. Like
which
most of the canyon was there, but all four of us, which is very exciting. I told some stories on last week's episode, but the other two weren't there, so they just had to believe me.
But I'm sure you were entirely truthful. I'll fact check you. I'll like an asshole.
Yeah, do it.
Actually,
got one word wrong.
Honestly, so I'm just gonna drive. So I'm currently in sort of the middle of Canada. And so we determined that I would drive down to Ohio to get to Comic-Con, and I would pick up another of our friends in a city sort of like just a few hours from me, and we would drive down together, which was great, which was an amazing plan, and which we did end up doing, not as smoothly as we'd hoped. Because, so it's been a really warm winter. Which means, because I'm an idiot, that I didn't have snow tires on my car yet. And there hadn't been any snow. There hadn't been any fucking snow until literally like the day before we were supposed to leave. All of a sudden, it's coming down. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't think my car can make it in this, because I was like slightly hydroplaning, going around like every turn. And I was like, okay. So I go to the car rental place and I rent a car that has snow tires. I'm like, yes, good. This will be fine. And in fact, what they give me is like this monster fucking SUV. It's like, I am driving a tank. This thing is like, you saw this thing, Ringa. Yep. It's too large. It's too much. Large. It's too much vehicle. But I was like, okay, like for winter in Canada, this is not unreasonable. And so I start driving. I'm driving to my friend's place. This city's about 4.5 hours away. And as I'm driving, I'm like, okay, it is like perfectly clear, perfectly dry. This was so stupid. I should have just brought my own car. This is so dumb. And then I get to the outskirts of my friend's city, and I'm just seeing like little skiffles of snow. Just like little bits of snow. Just a little bit. And I'm like, okay, maybe
this is cute. This is festive.
This is fine. This is cool. Like, this is like, I mean, my car probably could have handled this, but like, it's a good idea to have this thing. So like, it is getting a little wet on the roads. So, don't want to risk anything. 15 minutes later, I am in a line of cars about 20 kilometers long.
What is that in American?
I don't fucking know, man. Like 15, 13, let's say it's about 13 miles. And then I want you to Google it because I want to know how close I am.
Okay, I'm going to Google.
And so I'm in this fucking line of traffic, whiteout blizzard coming at me.
Ooh, it's 12.427 miles.
Damn.
That is so funny.
Actually, on the drive, my friend and I realized that I am weirdly good at converting kilometers to miles, despite like having only the vaguest notion of what that should be. However, okay.
Yeah.
Whiteout blizzard. I am in this fucking tank with its massive fucking snow tires. And I am going around corners at 10 kPa and I am fucking hydroplaning every time. I get into like my friend's little like cul-de-sac and I pull into her driveway and I instantly realize that I have made a mistake because I am now stuck in her driveway. We have to dig out the tires and then our friend has to get in front of this fucking tank and shove me out of her driveway while I floor it in reverse. Driving out of this motherfucking suburb, we stopped for 2 seconds at a stop sign and we were stuck again. And my friend had to get out, dig us out, and shove us. There was a guy behind us, like coming up also out of the suburbs. He took one look at what we were doing and he just turned around and drove away. I was like, driving out of the city, we ended up on the 401, which is one of the biggest highways in North America, one of the busiest highways in North America. I found a transport truck and just stayed behind it like it was my mommy. I was like, I am your duckling, transport truck. The truck goes off and I'm like, Mommy, no. I drove 11 hours that day.
As never before has such an effort been made to go to Ohio. Never before has anyone tried so hard to get to Ohio. Krill, being from the UK, did not know what a joke Ohio is to us.
Exactly. I put myself through this to go to Ohio.
So I will also say you could drive most of my country in 11 hours. Like genuinely, like South Coast, you can get pretty far into Scotland in 11 hours. So this is insane to me.
No, there's a very big difference in scale.
Yeah.
Driving 11 hours is like just getting from one side of Pennsylvania to the other a little bit. You know, you just like made it from New York and the suburbs to the end of Ohio. Yeah. What have you done gay piratey recently, Krill?
I had my own travel trauma getting to Ohio, but that wasn't interesting. That's just the UK being a bit shit. I did sit 2 rows behind Nathan on the last plane though.
Oh my God.
That's super exciting. Yeah.
I saw him and the funniest thing is he was having, this isn't even the story that I'm going to tell you, but it's just so funny because like he was having trouble with his boarding pass because he was standing there sort of passing it back and forth to the woman. I'm sitting there sort of like, that's fucking Nathan, isn't it? He gets on group 1 because he's like bougie or whatever. I'm group 9. Get on. In the cheap seats like me, I've got my R flag bag. We meet eyes for a second and we're both sort of like neither of us in the headspace to have this conversation. So I just walked straight past him. There was a moment.
See you soon.
Yeah, but my gay pirate moment was so you know the panel on Saturday. It was a really, really, really good panel. Yes. It had a really, really, really long queue going in. I had a little glass of wine in the hotel bar with my mates. I had a really nice time, and we sat outside. We sat outside the thing like after that because we're like, right, we are going to be first in. We're going to get these good fucking seats. We were sat in the sort of like right half of the thing facing the stage, and we were like I think maybe 3 rows deep. Second row. It's like 3 rows in, second row, if that makes sense. We had really, really, really good seats. I saw the queue was growing. So I was like, right, Benji, okay, hold that for me. It won't take that long. At the very, so that it keeps going. There's more and more questions and sort of edging closer to the front. I'm checking my phone. I'm like, it's fine, it'll overrun. So I'm getting less and less confident as time goes on, but I'm just like, I'm God's favorite. I'm the special little guy. No one take this out of context, I beg. Everything works in my favor. I'm like, we get to the point, there's a bloke in front of me, and they're like, I think this is going to be our last question. And I look up, I'm like, you can see in the video, I was saying to one of my friends, and he confirmed it, you can see me go experience the 5 stages of grief in the back of the shot. And then I lock eyes with Con just as he hears that. And we're sharing this pain together. And I don't get to ask a question. I make a hashtag called GCCC Chipgate because the question was about what you have on chips. And then when we got out of the panel, I lay face down on the floor like Barbie. Benji sat on me, and then Zale made me get up because I was being a fire hazard. And that was my gay pirate.
That seems like entirely the correct correct response.
It's because it was so obvious on my face.
You did get your question answered, though.
I did. I did get my question.
Just
what was
not
it?
at the panel.
Tell us.
So the question was what you have on your chips. It's a really like regional thing. There's a lot of like rivalry. But the correct answer is gravy. And I was talking to my friend Mason.
That is French fries for the American crowd.
Oh yeah.
That's some cheese curds.
But they're not. They're like French fries, but not because they're like chunky if you get proper ones. If you're from
they're like steak fries.
If you're from like the area of the UK that I'm in and that I live in, that Khan's from, the correct answer is gravy and sometimes mushy peas. So I was saying to my friend who's posh, I was like, he's going to say gravy. You're not going to like it, but he's going to say gravy. He didn't say gravy. He said salt and vinegar, obs, and then tartar sauce. Okay. And it's like, you know what?
Nice.
Bit posh, but I can respect it because that is good. I wouldn't choose it, but if they gave that me in a restaurant, I wouldn't complain, sort of thing.
You should toss some squeaky cheese curds in with your gravy.
Oh,
just do it. Just make it put down.
Okay, but does anyone in England use ketchup on their chips?
Yeah.
Because that's like all we use.
We use ketchup, we use mayo, we got gravy. You can have curry sauce, but only in Cardiff. If you get curry sauce outside Cardiff, it's not going to taste right.
Curry sauce sounds amazing.
Curry sauce, well good.
Got chips.
Oh man, I could use some chips. I only had chips in Europe in Dublin because by the time I was in England, I was off on my own and I was just doing whatever crazy shit came to mind. And mostly I was eating egg mayonnaise because it's one of the things I can eat there because I'm a vegetarian. But I enjoyed it. I had a great time.
I love mayonnaise on chips. Mayonnaise on chips is good.
Mayonnaise on chips is good. Also, back in the day, I don't know if anyone else did this. When I was little, I used to eat like chicken nuggets and fries with honey.
Oh, hell yeah.
The sweet with the salty. It's very good.
It's good. It's a good
promise you. Try it out. It'll rock your world. All right. Albus, did you have a crazy gay pirate experience at the convention?
I feel like mine is sort of on topic today because the one that I'm choosing is when we all got together to do like one of the meetups for our flag. I was talking with this one person about they had like choices for like free stuff that they were giving out. And the choices were, would you like the gentle beard hands or would you like a crow doing a painting sticker? And I was like, I will take the gentle hands. And they went, gentle hands. And I went, yes.
Gentle beard hands. So that was just Ed and Stede's hands.
Yeah, but my Stizzy brain rot is
absolutely. That's exactly what I would have thought about it. I'd have been like, where's Izzy?
Yes.
It's right there.
If you've got the word hands in it, come on.
Yeah, you just
come on. That's false advertising if he's not there.
Right.
This fandom is so I've never seen anything else where we like to give shit away at conventions. It is wild the amount of things that people give out, stickers and buttons and all kinds. Man, some people.
It's amazing.
It's super cool. In Florida, someone crocheted orange slices and was giving out full orange slice keychains. And I was like, this is for free? That was really nice, like enamel pins. And I mean, besides all the billions of bracelets, the rave bracelets.
So many fucking rave bracelets.
This is not my gay pirate thing, but at the convention, I was in an elevator going up to someone's hotel room and some woman with her daughter is like in the elevator. That's Lyft for the English crowd. And looks at me and was like, oh, have you been to see Taylor Swift? And I was like, what about me? It looks like I have been to see Taylor Swift because I had some kind of an Izzy shirt. Probably the Izzy Swallows shirt, actually. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, is there something about birds that has to do with Taylor Swift? Because I don't know. And then she's like, oh, all the bead bracelets. And I was like, what? No, that's
like that a thing.
Apparently it is.
Yes, it is. I did go to the Eras tour, and yes, it is.
I
had no idea, but I was like, this is like a rave thing to me. Like, I don't know, like it's what you're talking about, but okay. And she just was like, oh, okay. My gay pirate thing that I'm gonna say is that me and 4 other of my friends went and got gay pirate tattoos at Columbus, which is very exciting. And Tessa's one of them. Yeah, stick your leg up. Yay!
Oh, that's cute. I love.
We're in a blood cult. I love them.
Yeah,
we're in a blood cult with birds.
Blood cult.
So, for those who are listening and not looking, several of us. So, Buchan, lovely Buchan, who we adore, drew this beautiful swallow. And instead of Izzy's swallow is kind of like downward flying, our swallow is like flying upwards. And then the little Polaris X. So it combines 2 of Izzy's tattoos, and it's beautiful. And we all went to this tattoo place I found just in the suburbs in Columbus and got them tattooed. And
he was the weirdest man. He was the weirdest man.
He was so delightful, and he loved
him.
us. And when we walked in, the first thing you see when you walk in, there was like taxidermy all over the shop. But the first thing you see was a taxidermied possum that is hanging down and flipping you off. And so I was like, well, this is meant for us. Yeah.
Perfection.
Yeah, and then there was like just all kinds of like interesting vibes. There was like a skeleton holding
impeccable
kind
vibes
of thing, and there was
the nun spanking.
Yeah, that was very Izzy coded. And so we were then over the course of the day, which it took like maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours total to do us all. And he was hearing bits about this TV show. Hi-yo. He was hearing bits about this TV show and about Izzy and about Con throughout the whole day. And I said something about Izzy at one point, and he was like, who the hell is Izzy? And I'm like, oh, Izzy's the guy we've been talking about all day long. And then I had to show him pictures of the tattoos and stuff. But he was very interested in it. I was like, do you like gay pirates? Do you like gay things? Do you like pirates? Do you like them both? Like, watch this show.
He had a voice like this.
He did. He looked very much like what you would stereotypically think of like a tattoo guy. He had like a beard and he had like tattoos all over him and like a black hoodie. And, you know, he was, but he kept saying, I like you guys. I'm so glad you guys aren't like annoying. And yeah.
This is like every third person in Portland. So
yeah.
Yes.
All right. We're going to move on to fandom news. We're going to do real quick because we did a bunch of it last week, and then Gay Pirate News Hour will be coming up. So that is every first Saturday of every month. On the first Saturday, we do a Gay Pirate News Hour that's at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific time, and it's on YouTube. And we go live. We talk about everything that's happened in the past month that has to do with the show or any of the actors or the fandom or whatever. Last time it was during GalaxyCon Columbus, and I went live at the con and got Con O'Neill and Nathan Fode to tell us what was the most gay pirate thing that's happened to them recently. They both totally avoided answering the question properly, but what else do we expect? So that will be coming up. Yeah, the 4th. So January 4th. Tune in on our YouTube for the Gay Pirate News Hour. But real quick, I'm just going to run on a couple of things. David Jenkins had a baby. Congrats, David Jenkins. Con's show, Rogue Heroes, that he's in will be premiering in the UK on January 1st. So look forward to that. And if you're not in the UK, it will be premiering on my Google Drive. Also on January 1st, hit me up. Christian, right before this, posted a video on Instagram talking about some like holiday wishes and end of the year things and about his cameo and tours that he's doing and all that. He's going to be he announced some convention that he's going to be at, but he's the only one. Eurocon, I think. I have no idea when that is. There's a new Cryptid Factor video if you're a Cryptid Knight, which means if you're subscribed to their Patreon. So you can go watch that. And then Taika was at the Masked Singer finale, and Rita mentioned him very briefly, and they showed him in the audience, and he was wearing a hat backwards like it's 1993, and it was very cute. But the biggest thing in fandom news this week is that what you're listening to right now, is the 50th episode of Our Flag Means Fan Fiction, which, yay! This is so exciting for us, and I can't believe that they've given me the reins to do this episode all on my own without any supervision. So here we go. Happy anniversary to Our Flag Means Fan Fiction. And if you're just joining us, you should go back and listen to all the episodes. They're super fun. Sometimes we talk about characters. Sometimes we talk about overthrowing the government. Sometimes it's a podfic episode and somebody reads a fan fiction that they like a lot. But there's always good stuff and lots of fun guests. And we're going to talk about the best ship in the show.
This is
controversial, but I feel confident enough to say that because
you're right.
It is for me, and I think for a lot of other people, the pipeline is Gentle Beard to Steady Hands to Stizzy, and that is where we rest. Especially this happened to me before season 2 started, but during season 2 Ed's in the naughty chair for the whole season and not in a fun way, and never gets to leave the naughty chair, in my opinion. I am to the point now where I can read stuff with him in it again, but for a long time I was like, no, we're not doing any Ed. We're just doing Stizzy. That's all I want is some Stizzy hurt comfort. And that was my life for a long time after season 2 ended. But I know a lot of my favorite Stizzy content is in Steady Hands fics, because it's just, they have such, honestly, no matter what, the triangle of them has such good dynamics because there's branch of every side that really hits differently than all the others and makes up some part that's perfect.
Oh, so many tropes.
But today we're going to talk about just the Stede and the Izzy. So what do we love so much about Stede and Izzy? They are polar opposites, which always is like a big thing for me with ships. Opposites who hate each other. What passion, right?
Okay, but also opposites in a way that is in some ways surface level. Like this is like the bitch for bitch.
Yeah.
We love the bitch for bitch. They are just like, they're both a little fastidious. They're both like bitches.
They are.
And
they're both very fastidious is a good word because they're both extremely particular about certain things, but not the same things.
Exactly.
What Stede is particular about, Izzy would see as frivolous. And Izzy is very particular about things that are actually important, and that's like
not dying.
Right. It's arguable, but I feel like most people would agree that the things that Izzy is particular about are very important to like survival on the sea. And
Stede, I think he's also very important. Like he is also very particular about his appearance, similar to Stede. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Very much so. I feel like Izzy is like secretly a fancy boy. Because
he would
his
be.
Clothes are immaculate.
His slicked back hair.
Oh, yes. He has to take hours like doing that. And then also like he's always freshly shaved.
I was literally just about to say that, like his facial hair is always like it's like
pristine,
kept up. So, that's the word.
So he's a secret little fancy boy. It's okay.
Even like the hair slicked back with volume.
With
that
volume
takes work.
Well, that's what's so interesting when you look at him in the beginning of season 2. And Lindsay Cantrell just posted those pictures or sent me those pictures to post of Izzy's room in season 2, where you see like the dirty sheets and all the stuff he's got on his shelves and stuff. And it just broke all of our collective hearts because that's not Izzy. That's not him. He is the kind of guy that like makes his bed every day.
He's doing hospital corners. Let's be realistic here.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
And he's like, for the first like 4 episodes of season 2, he is wet and filthy 100% of the time. His hair is greasy. He looks like he can barely sit up straight. He's drunk 100% of the time, and of course we know why, and it makes sense, but like it's such a difference from what we've seen of him in season 1. And then he gets back into it, but we don't get to see what has changed in his bedroom or anything.
Yeah.
And I just would love, like, we need fanfics of Stede going in there. Like, I love when Stede finds him out with the unicorn and they have their little back and forth and Izzy, is screaming at the unicorn. That's great. But if Stede had gone into his room and found him like that, that's yummy. That would be a delicious interaction. That reminds me of so many like Omegaverse fics where, Izzy doesn't have a nest and Stede's like, well, we got to fix this. Let's get you a nest and it's going to be beautiful.
Yes.
So we love the bitch for bitch, and they're opposites, but are they really? I've always loved the hate ships so much.
Yes.
Where they just hate each other until they don't. And they find out that they don't hate each other by fucking about it. It's just, it's so delicious.
I love that moment of, oh no, I love him. The visceral horror.
That's what's really like sort of fun to write is like the sort of I love the slow burn aspect of it. I like them not realizing it and then suddenly it all comes together. But then there's like the denial because like they're still convinced they hate each other, but they don't, but they can't be the first to fold sort of thing. Like that's really interesting about them. I love that side of it.
Yeah.
It's really good. And Lucius is always the one who tells everybody in this whole show if they're into each other. He can see, but they can't. But that's the good thing about Stizzy fanfic is so much of it is really good slow burn, and
Yes.
really like they like if I often have to look for like established relationship as a tag if I want some short thing that's like just comforting, because otherwise it's going to be this big like, 60K fanfic where the like first 40K of it they're like hating each other and trying not to stare at each other's lips and things like that, which is yummy, but sometimes you need a really quick little burst of it. So I brought up Omegaverse, and I do love Omegaverse involving Stede and Izzy. I don't think I've ever read an Omegaverse with Stede as the Omega and Izzy as the Alpha. I think that's silly, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that's written it or that enjoys that aspect. But
I've definitely seen it.
So I know Tessa's read Omegaverse. How about Krill and Albus? Is that a thing that you are into, or do you stay away from it?
I support lovingly from the sidelines, but don't read it myself.
Respect.
I'm a fan. Tessa, didn't you write an Omegaverse?
I did. I've written a number of Omegaverse. Yes.
Delicious is what is the word of the episode. Delicious.
I think Omegaverse really adds some interesting dynamics to sort of like primal urges between characters who hate each other.
It's so
right.
Yes, it's very good. I recommended on one of the Omegaverse episodes that we did this story where when Stede and Izzy first meet, not only are they Alpha and Omega, but there is some kind of sex pollen plant there too that sends Izzy into heat at the moment they meet. And so they have to fuck about it. Oh no. And it's just, it's that kind of thing is so delicious. There's so many fanfics where Izzy is an Omega who's never been properly taken care of, and Stede's like, well, that's silly, I'm just gonna take care of you, but it doesn't mean anything, I'm just doing this because it's my duty as an Alpha. And so many of the same genre where Ed is either Izzy's Alpha or is the Alpha that Izzy considers his Alpha, but they've never bonded and doesn't know what the fuck he's doing with this Omega. And so Stede has to come in and be like, excuse me, you're extremely wrong about everything. And I love that too. I love just take care of Izzy. He needs it. He won't let himself, as much as he takes care of himself for like appearance, and he takes care of the ship, and he probably doesn't see it as he's taking care of the crew, but he is. But he has a hard time allowing himself to be taken care of on a emotional level. And Stede's real good with that shit when they're not fighting.
Yes.
That's another aspect I truly love of this ship, is like the tenderness. And when Stede can finally like get in there and allow, get Izzy to allow himself to receive affection. Yeah. And it's so relatable, isn't it?
It sort of feels very much to me like in season 1, Izzy was so housewife coded.
Yes.
And so like it sort of reminds me of like when a housewife is so busy taking care of the kids and so busy taking care of the house that like she forgets to take care of herself. And like the idea of another character coming in and going, but have you considered doing a little self-care? Just like a tiny bit?
And they're like, I don't have time for that. Yeah. That is very extremely Izzy. He's very wife coded in every way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, on the first Ed Izzy episode, I went through and talked about some of the canon things that happened to them in the show. And we're going to pick that up in the second Ed Izzy episode at some point. But just for as far as Stizzy goes, the first time they meet, Izzy rips Stede's shirt open. I mean, like that's
the first shot of it's like through Izzy's legs.
Yes.
Like,
it's through Stede's legs.
Yes, through Stede's legs. Yes. It's just. It's
there right from the start.
Like, it's not subtle. They're not being subtle. And like their chemistry in the bar.
Oh my God.
When they meet at Jackie, it's just like, just kiss. Just kiss already.
It's like the definition of bitch for bitch is go suck eggs in hell. And him saying, tell your boss that, he's got terrible taste in flunkies and all that. And he's like,
I love it.
Yeah, no, incredible.
It all comes back to a lot of people who don't like Izzy like to bring up that Izzy, in the first time they met, Stede is mean to him because he stole their hostages, but he did not. He bought the hostages from the indigenous people that took it from Stede, they should be the ones, if you're going to be mad at someone.
Yeah.
But it's all fair in piracy, I think. And but Izzy was like in the most right of all of that.
Yes. Yeah. No, seriously, he just bought these guys
for them. Stede kidnapped them,
lost them, and then
the tribe took them from him. And Izzy is the only one that fairly paid for them. So let's just start there. Stede to Izzy the entire first time they meet for no real reason. Now, again, that is piracy, and that's like the first thing Stede did that was pirate-like was we're gonna do a fuckery and get these guys back, and was nice enough to leave Izzy with one. We never hear from again.
I mean, you wouldn't, would you?
No. But it's just funny that, because doesn't Stede say in episode 3 something about you stole my guys or something, and it's that's not at all what happened.
That's not what happened. Stede. No.
And then Izzy to Ed saying it was totally unprofessional.
Yeah. I love him. I can't.
It was an ambush. It was totally unprofessional. Bro, you're a pirate.
You're a pirate. Ambushes are your profession, baby.
They're both a little confused about what they're doing here.
Yeah.
Neither of them followed the scripts that the other one had written in their head, so they didn't really know how to interact with each other.
Yeah. They're just both so Twitter pated by each other.
Yes.
That they got all confused about what being a pirate was.
Yeah.
I think
they're just very out of sorts. They're having a lot of big feelings.
No.
I think it's also interesting that we get an establishing shot of who Izzy is in the moment where he rips up Stede's shirt, right? That's very skillful. He doesn't cut Stede at all.
Right.
And then
when Stede is scared but also turned on.
I mean, who wouldn't be?
To be fair,
and then Stede's got a letter opener, and Izzy just sort of is I guess this is it.
Can Izzy see what he's holding to him? Because he presses it to his cheek.
I think you see something pressed up to your cheek. I mean, you can kind of see it.
I mean,
I think it is a knife. Isn't it a knife? I thought it was a knife that he had. Was it a letter opener? I think it's a knife. Maybe.
It might be a knife.
It's not a very good knife.
I'm not convinced of how sharp it is.
But
Izzy
also,
Ed hasn't been doming Izzy properly, so Izzy just slipped instantly into subspace, and
that
so
is
he couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Also, they took out Ivan immediately. These guys took out Ivan
with a rock.
With a rock,
right?
And then Pete's got his legs wrapped around Fang. So honestly, and then the one hostage is he killed somebody. He has the eyes of a crazy man. And it's okay, but yeah, true. Who knows what this guy's going to do? So yeah, it was not your typical stealing of people, but it was
a great meet cute.
It was a great meet cute. It was a great, oh man. Yeah, it was good. It was good. And then in episode 5, we don't really get, oh wait, I skipped over 4 entirely. Episode 4, which is where, Ed's on the ship taking care of a half-naked Stede, and Izzy's trying to figure out if anybody on the ship is competent whatsoever, which, basically the answer is yes, Buttons a bit, but also he's got a bird.
Jim.
Izzy doesn't really talk to Jim very much in that episode.
No.
And when he does, they're eating food, although they've been...
I was mostly thinking about who on the ship is competent.
Well, no, yes. I think in the long run, it is Buttons and Jim that Izzy sort of respects. But in that first episode, he only really interacts with Buttons of the bunch of them.
So respectfully. They're so chill.
Yep. Despite him having a bird on his head.
Yeah.
He has a significant look of distaste towards Buttons when Ed is very excited about the bird.
Listen, an emotional support animal does not change how well you do your job.
Izzy recognizes that. Yeah.
He's as much as I don't like this, I guess, okay.
He's well, he's doing his fucking job. Okay.
Yep.
This guy knows what he's doing. Also, I mean, I feel like when you've been a pirate for that long, you've seen a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to be that fazed by a dude with a bird on his head. You're just yeah.
I think also Izzy might have been more angry that Ed was so excited about it than the fact that this bird existed on his head.
I think it was mostly that Izzy was like, Ed, for fuck's sake, can we make a plan? Can we make a plan? Can we make a plan? No, I don't want to look at the fucking bird.
Yeah. Which is so, it's the very like about to divorce couple who is totally into different things for different reasons. And
one of them wants to live.
And one of them's excited to show the other one about a bird.
Yes. Priorities, different priorities.
Perhaps one of my favorite moments of Izzy in season 1, when Stede comes out dressed in Ed's clothes and Izzy literally grabs his pearls.
He's a pearl clutch. He's such a prissy little man.
He cannot handle life 1 second longer.
He's seen enough. He's out.
It's too much. It's too much.
And then the next time that he's with Stede, he's grabbing him by the leather and yanking him down below deck. And
yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. And during that whole time, Stede once again looks terrified and yet turned on.
They're just always so much in each other's faces. Like they get very unnecessarily close.
And Izzy cannot stop looking at Stede's mouth.
Oh, yeah.
That whole time.
Oh, my God.
Part of that, I think, wouldn't have been the same with, well, obviously it wouldn't have been the same with other actors, but we have Khan's ability to be the tallest man in the room while being the shortest man in the room, and Rhys's overbearing personality. So they are like going head to head with each other as actors, as well as their characters are going to head with each other. And
they're going head to something.
They are. So them getting so close is just, I think it's like animal magnetism.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It is.
But that comes back to like is it Khan and Rhys's, unresolved sexual tension, because Khan has the ust with every single person he walks by. It just exists.
It's true. That's fact.
He just like pours out of him like an aroma, and it's his pheromones. So, then we have the whole, oh no, there's this plan, and but it's not right, but oh no, we're gonna die, and then we're gonna do another plan, and Izzy kind of disappears for all that.
Yeah.
And then Izzy, this has nothing to do with Stizzy, but I'm gonna bring it up again because certain people like to forget that Izzy tried to leave and Ed wouldn't let him.
Yep. Yes, he did.
I will always bring that up if we're talking about this episode, because it's extremely significant to Izzy as a character and what Ed is like. So Izzy stays. The next episode is mostly spruzy tension, and then Ed and Stede off playing dress up, and so then we get some really nice Stizzy in episode 6, which is my favorite episode, where he's trying to tell Ed to, the first part when he's trying to get Ed down from the contraption and he's sticking his head in his balls and Stede's saying,
looks like there's trouble in paradise.
That's such a bitchy thing to say.
His little head toss.
Oh my God.
Come on, man.
So then, the whole episode is he's trying to get Ed to kill him. We have the book nook scene with the dramatic rubbing of the curtain.
Oh my God, that scene, that curtain.
There's no reason for any of that.
Yeah,
there's no heterosexual reason for any of that.
None of these scenes are in the Bible.
I've read a lot of fan fiction where that scene happens, but instead someone's sucking someone off in that book nook behind that curtain.
I mean, like, come on.
Yeah.
They were this close. This close. I swear to God. They had just bitched at each other for like 30 seconds more.
Yep. And then at the end of the episode, we've got the sword fight, which is...
Yeah,
we all know what that means.
It's so delicious in many ways, but I love seeing anytime Izzy does swordplay. And then Stede is literally just and Stede was literally just doing anything he could to survive, and it made Izzy so mad.
Yeah.
Him throwing like
unprofessional.
Yeah, unprofessional. He throws like, what is that, coal in his face or something?
Yeah, like the gunpowder or something. I can't remember what it is. Yeah,
I think it's gunpowder.
Gunpowder. Yes, that makes way more sense. Yeah. And Khan said that he like couldn't like breathe. Then
it was funny. He had to keep going like washing his eyes out because he'd have some because he couldn't stop saying that. Yeah,
it put him through a lot.
They put
Seriously, Jesus
It was
Christ.
like foreshadowing to season 2 when you are not going to be able to walk properly ever. And you're going to be wet the entire time.
Hey.
Ayo. That
Right
and
back.
then
Carry on.
Stede smacking his ass with the sword.
They smack each other. Both of these men smack each other's asses in the course
they
of this
do.
show. They cannot
It's
stop.
so lovely. Yes.
They can't keep their hands off each other.
They can't. And then, Stede sort of wins, but I don't know any world in which that would actually be allowed to be a win for the plot of the show. We're moving it forward, I suppose. And honestly, they don't really interact much the rest of that season. They talk about each other, and they have like little bits of like exchanges of glances in the 9th episode when they come and do the trial and they do act of grace and all that stuff, but they don't really I mean, Izzy gets real mad in the last episode and yells at Ed and all, but they don't have real interactions again until the 3rd episode of season where one of the first things that happens is Izzy says, this is both our faults. We both did this to him and we got to protect the crew. And, Stede like takes that to heart. But then when he finds out Ed is dead, he is again like Izzy expects him to come screaming at him and he doesn't. And that's worse because Izzy's so in love and it hurts. So one of the most like heartbreaking moments of season 2 for me was when Izzy thanks Stede at the end of that episode for like saving him, and Stede just walks away from him.
I know.
I was literally so when it came out in the UK, it was that episode finished at about 9:30. I had a meeting with my boss, and I literally had to delay it by 10 minutes after the episode finished, just to quietly complain about it. Because I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah. Seriously,
that was
so
heartbreaking.
Upsetting.
Yeah,
it's just, and I mean, that's amazing acting on Rhys's part. You can see there's like a lot of Samba's BTS stuff has that scene where they're all on the ship together, and there's like a great shot of Rhys just like standing at the railing staring off into nowhere on the set, and Izzy is kind of like in the background, and the rest of them are all like goofing around and doing whatever, but like Con and Rhys are like in their zone, so they're like not fucking around. And people have made a meme of it where Rhys is thinking like like I just saw a fan art of me entering my best friend and stuff like that, and got that million mile stare going, because he's doing this great like emotional acting in that scene where he's just so upset and he just doesn't even, and he's affected by it, Izzy's affected by it, and then Izzy goes into hardcore alcoholic mode, and
baby,
we have that whole, the 4th episode I think is Con's best acting as Izzy in the entire show,
really
where
incredible.
He's just drunk and depressed and crawling on the ground and doing
just having a fucked up time,
crying and crying and crying and crying.
Relatable.
And then at the end with the unicorn leg. And then season 2, episode 5 is the Stizzy episode. Yes. And it kind of felt like a filler episode, but I'm here for it because the tits.
What I want, I want shows to have more room to just do filler episodes. I fucking want 26 episode seasons again. I want them to have
something crazy important is happening every single second of the show.
I want them to have time to like fuck around as well as telling the main plot. I love the stupid silly episodes.
There's a reason that slice of life fan fiction is so popular.
Yes. Exactly. It's there is a craving for this.
We like the characters and we want to just watch them hanging out, doing stuff.
Capitalism has ruined everything yet again.
It has.
But neoliberal bullshit. Anyway.
I know at Airport Con is when Rhys was telling about how there is a lot of other stuff filmed for the candle scene. Con had said something to me about that earlier in life, and I was left feeling very robbed and longing some other words for it, but like I know Rhys like, where would it go though? And I'm like, there's a thing, and
all the way to
Irene,
the altar, baby.
Irene yelled out threesomes, and like, honestly, but why not? Like, why
Yeah.
not? I really thought it was going there for a minute because
it really looked like it. And like, I mean, especially after the first season, because it felt so much like poly sort of relationships would be a real possibility in this kind of space.
Right.
And so it was too bad not to see that brought to fruition.
Yeah.
In a really direct and explicit way.
Yeah. Because,
like even and like I think we all sort of like read like Archie and Olu and Jim as a throuple, but like there's a way in which I think both that's what they wanted, but also that the way that it's been talked about by not by Vico, who obviously is very much like, yes, that was a thing. Yeah. But like David Jenkins has talked about it sort of like being like a breakup with them. Anyway, sorry, this is just like a weird cul-de-sac, but just like it would have been nice to have that explicit and like agreed upon with the creator of the show as well. It seemed
very much like the first season was heading into like poly relationships or whatever, and they exist. And then we got into season 2, and it was kind of like, no, we're taking that all back.
Yeah, because season 1, Lucius and Pete were also clearly at least open,
and then they like get married in the which is great,
which doesn't necessarily mean they're closing, but
it just felt very coded to like
and the Fang
people
element of that sort of like relationship didn't get anything in season 2 at all.
No, it was very odd how that switched. But again, we had very little time to like play with any of that. But I don't
exactly. Give us 26 episodes, you bastards.
Seriously.
Give us 26 episodes. Fuck.
Because I know a lot of people, I know there was a lot of the fandom that would have been upset if Stede and Izzy had done anything with each other, and or if Steady Hands had been endgame, but it would be so good.
So good.
Think about, consider, it would be so good.
Consider that it would fucking rock.
Yes, it would be so good. And I've seen a lot of, memes where they say Khan wasn't allowed to kiss Taika or Rhys because then that would make Taika and Rhys's kiss look really, really bad, because Khan has so much good kissing chemistry, boy energy.
Like, yes. Yep. Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
So that's fair. But that whole episode was amazing, between the candle scene beautiful. And then just all the little montage of training.
The ass slap.
Oh my God. So good.
One ass slap. Wait, is that both episode 6? The ass slap?
No, 5 in season 2. But it might as well be 6 because we have less episodes.
Yeah, essentially. So like very, very similar moments in the season.
Yeah.
Just sort of the rhythm of the Stizzy ass slap.
And Khan said that's his favorite like Stizzy moments is when he's training Stede to do all the things, and Stede's just
so cute. It's
so terribly incompetent still. And my favorite like slow burn fics with them are where he's training Stede and Stede is getting better slowly. And
yes,
he gets there eventually, and and then Izzy can be proud of him. But that's so good. The when they go on the ship, the cursed ship, it's the cursed ship where Stede like fires the gun in the air, and Izzy's like, okay.
Oh wait, but is that? I think that's okay. So that's not on the cursed ship. That's part of the montage of other raids. Because on the cursed ship, everybody's dead, and he fires the because running
You're
at
right.
him.
That's what I was trying to think. Like, is that cursed ship or not?
Well,
you're right.
Well, that's when they're dropping off the cursed suit.
Yes. That's when the guy's like, "Is it cursed?" Like, no.
And we get a lot of really good. Izzy's just like hanging out in Stede's cabin in that episode. Like every time they're not doing a training thing, Izzy's just like hanging out there, whittling or just sitting. And I love that.
That's for him, honestly.
Yeah. Right? He's just making himself at home in there. And
very
what a
domestic.
Difference between the last episode where he was like in alcohol crazy world, and like now he's just like settling in, but he has the, Stede showing off in the mirror. Izzy, he's like, look at my pretty new outfit, Izzy. And then the moment where, the bitchiest of bitches, where Stede comes in and says,
fuck off.
Love it.
Rude. Izzy says rude.
I love him so much.
He crosses his little hoof foot over the other one.
So cute.
Oh, their bitch for bitch is unmatched. It's so good. It's so good. And then we have how Stede looks at Izzy when he comes out and starts singing during Calypso.
Yeah.
Which that is love in his eyes. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Like, at the very least, the steady hands implications of that scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
You cannot tell me they're not angling for a threesome.
That's what should have happened. I found it very
Seriously,
odd.
Come on.
No offense to you, gentle beardies, but I found it very odd that they fuck while Izzy is singing. But that's just me.
There's definitely like, oh God, the word is escaping me now. Something being sublimated there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
A lot of sublimation.
And I think even with that something different could have happened when Izzy comes in the morning and is like making docking jokes at them, you know, like that could have gone a whole different way too.
Yeah.
Because then he like meets up with Ed and is like, you know, do what you want to do. And then he meets up with Stede and is like, you're good for him. And I'm like, okay, cool. We're all being real cool about this. Now let's all three of us hook up. Like,
you know what would be really cool?
Yep. And Izzy at the end of that scene in the bar with Stede putting on Stede's thigh.
Oh, wait. I remember, listen, I was watching that with a friend of mine who hadn't seen the season yet. But I think I had said that like Stizzy was not a thing. And that scene happened. And my friend looked over at me and she said, you're telling me these men are not going to fuck?
Unrealistic.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
No one believes that.
Like, come on. Come on.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And someone pointed out somewhat recently when Izzy says like, you know what happened to me when I told him I love him? And they both say, he shot you, you know, and it's like, oh, how many times has Stede heard this story from Izzy? And it makes me think like while they're doing their training, Izzy's just like, and then that bitch went like,
yes, giving him like the rundown of the breakup.
He's not over it.
No, I mean,
he loves to gossip.
He does.
Canon.
He does.
Little king.
Yes. And in that candle scene where he's like, what did Ed say about me though?
Yeah.
Like, so good. We're going to play a game called I'm going to read you a quote from a fan fiction and you guys get to guess whether it's Stede or Izzy saying it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Here's the first one. It's, I don't think I will shut up, actually. I think I'll say whatever I like and enjoy you however I like. How's that?
I think that's Stede.
I am going to agree. I think that's Stede.
Yeah, I'm going Stede as well.
It is Stede, and it is in the story Please, that's Pleas, without the E at the end, by Dictionary Rights.
Lovely.
Okay. Number 2, you're going to kill me, are you?
Izzy.
Easy. Yeah.
That's actually Stede.
I mean, it could be either.
That's what's so great about Stizzy is like they're so similar and so opposite.
Yes.
That is Stede from How the Damage Gets Done by Multi-Fandom Homo and Loved Hands.
I really should know that because Nick's a really good mate of mine. That's all.
Yeah.
But you can't have every single thing memorized from every single person.
And that's like a very short line too. Like
it is. That's why I picked it because it was confusing and
rude.
Number 3, if either of us tells Edward about this, he'll kill us.
I'm saying Izzy because he used the full name.
I'm going to say Stede for the exact same reason.
I'm going to say Stede because I feel like he might be fucking with us.
It is Izzy, and it is from Lael, Your Love on Me by Trinity of One, which is an amazing fanfic.
Nice.
I'm going to see if I can link to all of these stories.
Yeah, hell yes. You
Charlie
have to.
doesn't hate me.
No. You have to. You have to do it.
And none of these are from
the people need them.
None of these are from my Rex that I will tell you later. Okay, number 4. You talk too much. Overcompensating, perhaps?
Stede.
Oh, fuck, I've read this.
I'm going to say Izzy.
I think it's Izzy.
It is Stede. Which I picked this one because it feels like it should be Izzy saying that, right?
It definitely could be.
But
there was something about the perhaps.
Stede says it in Have Some Composure by Shattered Hourglass. Nice. All right, number 5 is Now Then, I expect you to be quiet for a while. I have work to do. And we'll be doing this all over again tomorrow.
That's Stede.
I'm going
I think it's
Stede.
Stede as well.
That is Stede.
Yeah.
And he's in a story called People Positive Management by Unopposable Thumbs. One of my favorite writers. Number 6, Be Still for God's Sake, They're Still Around.
I think that's Izzy.
I'm going Stede.
Be Still feels like Stede to me. Yeah. Sorry.
That is Izzy in a story called Tight Spaces by Sushi Owl.
I've read that one.
Nice.
Good one. Just because I like getting fucked by you doesn't mean I like you.
Izzy.
Izzy.
It is Izzy, but really it could be either one.
It really could be either.
That is in a story called You're a Liar by Fukin Tentacle.
Nice.
Maybe next time I won't bother to undress you except for your pants, tie you to all 4 corners and work you until you're screaming and begging.
Izzy.
Izzy.
Izzy, I think.
It's Stede!
Okay.
It is Stede in a story called Say My Name by Phantom531, where he's trying to get Izzy to call him Stede instead of Bonnet.
Cute.
Nice.
And the final one, we can take our time, find out what you like, do as much or as little as you want.
Stede.
I'm going to say Stede.
It should sound like a Stede quote, but it is in fact Izzy.
Yes.
And it's
I
from-
feel like there are a lot of fics where Izzy teaches Stede how to fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this one I picked again because it sounds very much like a thing Stede would say. But it is in a story called Swords by Morpheus626.
There's a lot of crossover between the two of them. They're
There is.
And especially depending on how deep into the fic you get and how established of a relationship it is. But it just comes back to they do love bitching at each other and they love fucking each other. And that's
damn right.
That's exactly what they're all about. So does
We love
anyone
them.
does anyone have any favorite Stizzy fic tropes or anything?
Oh my god.
I mean, there's a lot.
I mean, bitch for bitch, obviously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I found that a lot of the shorter stories I like of Stizzy are like modern AUs.
Oh, I love them.
then
Yes.
A lot
Yeah.
of the longer ones that are super slow burn that I like are canon verse. I don't know what that means. I don't know. What does it mean?
I quite like a modern verse for him because obviously Izzy's like background and stuff is something that I can find quite relatable. So I find that sort of dynamic between them to be really interesting for me personally. So I do sort of gravitate towards like the sort of wealthy whatever
Yeah.
Stede, and then Izzy who's just like a sort of normal person. So I really enjoy that sort of thing for the modern AU.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
enemies to lovers in general.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Or enemies to friends to lovers or some variation of all that. All right.
Enemies to lovers who are pretending to hate each other. Albus, what about you?
Yeah.
I mean, I really like a good modern AU. I like sort of the idea that like Izzy being old school gay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And Stede's just like
Right.
finding it out about himself.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah.
I do.
Izzy is kind of like old leather guard. It's very
Exactly.
satisfying. Yeah.
I find that the things that I search for the most when I'm looking for something for Stizzy is either like a dom sub like humiliation type thing or super fluffy and super like hurt comforty or sick fic or something like that. Like those are the two flavors of them.
Stede soft doming Izzy into taking care of himself.
Yes, delicious.
Yes.
All right, well, let's do our fic recs and we can come do another Stizzy episode where we talk about something more in depth, maybe a different time. But Tessa, what fics have you to rec?
I'm going to recommend a series by Stede Bonnet.
Oh, I love it so much.
I love it so much. Called A Second Chance at First Mate.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Oh,
it's so good. Yeah, and so it's the description is a series of instances follow the Ed Stede breakup in which Stede and Izzy fall into bed or floor together and figure out their shit from there. It's great.
Action.
I love the
Amazing.
writing. They're such a good writer.
Ooh.
a delight.
Is that the only one you have?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that one. I have like a couple of others, but they're steady hands, and I really want to stick with just like Stizzy for the Stizzy app.
Great. But that one's fucking good.
So good. And like technically, it's a bunch of fics. There are like 7 in
but
there.
they're all amazing, and they follow a nice storyline.
Yes. Yeah. So I've just very efficiently wrecked 7 fics.
Very nice.
Krill, what do you have?
So I've got one that I actually just started reading this morning, like before I had to drive. I'm so into it already. It's called When You Were Young by Wednesday's Child, and I think it literally just got finished fairly recently. And it's it expands on the first meeting in episode 2, but it's where Stede and Izzy actually do go off together.
Okay.
Than the events they do, and I haven't got much further than that. But I'm really rating it so far.
Who is it by?
But Wednesday's Child.
You said that already.
_ child. Yeah. Yeah. So
I haven't read that, but if it has just recently been finished, that's probably why. I usually don't do works in progress because I've been burned so many times. But if I find one that I'm interested in and it's not finished, I'll put it in my marked for later.
It is now finished. So yeah.
Excellent. That is great. And I have been looking for something new to read. So maybe I'll check that one out.
I will also say, speaking of Stizzy fics that aren't finished and people definitely aren't going to be burned by, I'm going to chuck my own out there.
Yes.
I think it's on about 92,000 currently. We're 9 chapters in.
Wow, amazing.
It's a modern AU about Strictly Come Dancing / Dancing on Ice.
Oh my God.
Not Dancing on Ice, and Dancing with the Stars even.
I fucking love that. Yeah. That's incredible.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Yes.
Excellent. Please do, yes. And what is your handle?
So the fic's called When It Takes Hold, and the handle is Krill Collins, Krill space Collins.
Gotcha. All right. Albus, do you have a fic rec or two?
I do. I am going to suggest Give Me Your Leather, Take From Me My Lace.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think technically is Steady Hands, but it's very Stizzy focused.
A lot of them are.
Yeah.
And it's like a Leather King, Izzy teaching Stede how to take care of like his leather.
Oh, yeah. I definitely have read that. Yeah, but a while ago.
Me too. Yes.
And then I am also suggesting Longing for Home. It's You. And that's by Pirate Jamming and Ulinaki. That's as close as we're going to get. And it's about Izzy and Stede decide to go to Mary and Doug's wedding and the sort of hijinks that have to happen in order for them to go. And then you might recognize the illustrator.
Amazing.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
Nice.
That's very good. Yes. Okay. Well, I'm going to do 3 real quick then. Okay. I feel like I've recommended this here before, but it's by Stede Bunnett again, and it's called I Hope You Die. I hope we both die. There's a fight. The ship gets attacked. Stede and Izzy end up stuck on an island together with no idea if anyone else has survived. And I love stuck on island fics, especially for like canon verse Our Flag Means Death, because they're pirates. And, Izzy has to show Stede how to like survive. And then they get closer and it's delicious. Love it. Next, I'm going to recommend In the Wake of Tales by Zazap. Sorry. It's ZYGPSARY. I've never known how to say it, but they're an amazing fic writer, and I love all their stuff. I don't know. But in this one, the description says Izzy and Stede are seized off the street, handcuffed together and held for a ransom. Together, they must figure out how to escape before they can be used as bait for Blackbeard's capture. This is another. We're stuck together. Yes. We got to figure out how to get along. It's so good. I love it. And then the last one is Nothing Fades Like the Light by Unpleasant Diversions. All 3 of these are somewhat longer. Yeah, love this one. This one is basically Stede is learning to become a hardcore dom, and Ed is learning to embrace his softer side, and Izzy's enjoying all of it. It's set post season 1. It's like a really good. This season 2 didn't happen. Read this instead, because Stede comes back and like he kind of captures Izzy and puts him in the brig, and he's assuming Izzy's responsible for all the crazy things that happened, and he gets great enjoyment of beating the shit out of Izzy, and Izzy also gets great enjoyment out of that. And Ed is kind of worried because he doesn't like when he does that to Izzy, and he's worried that it's going to take over Stede the same way. So they have to find a boundary to work out, and sexiness ensues.
Okay, I love it. I love it when steady hands invent safe words.
Yes, it's so good. It's so good. So yeah, that one also is a steady hands, but it's really Stizzy is the primary focus. Ed's kind of just like around there in the background being moody, and which is great. I love the Stede and Izzy, and Ed is there. So if you guys will all send me the links to that to your whatever's in our chat, that will be swell.
It is already in the chat.
Oh, you're so good. Thank you. All right. So on our way out, Tessa, what are you working on and where can we find you?
I'm working on not dying and also writing a lot of, I'm still in my Garrick Bashir kick, which was recently elevated by the canonization of that. So I've been writing some Garrick Bashir. I've been trying
That is a Star Trek. If anyone doesn't like me, it's a Star Trek.
Nine. It is like my very first ship from when I was like 11.
And it just became canon, spoiler alert.
I mean, it was always fucking canon.
Yeah, but like
now it's like
there's something extra yummy about, I knew it.
There he is, admitted it. But yes.
And people can't find you because you're a ghost.
People can't find me. I'm a ghost.
All right, Krill, what are you working on and where can we find you?
I am working on When It Takes Hold, Chapter 10. Yeah, Chapter 10. The plan in front of me. You can find me on AO3 Krill Collins or Blue Sky as Krill-Collins or Instagram as Krill_Collins if you just want to see pictures of me and my mates drinking wine. So,
yeah, very good. And Albus, what are you working on and where can we find you?
I am working on two different things right now. I am trying to get a sexy Santa Izzy drawing out for Primus. Yeah. And then I'm also in the middle of a custom book bind. One of my friends needs cheering up, so I'm making a custom book bind.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. And then you can find me at Albus Create pretty much everywhere. It's usually Albus_creates. And if it's not that, there's no underscore.
Yes, and you can find them on Patreon too if you want to see all the sexy pictures that aren't allowed to be posted by places like Instagram and such. There's a lot of sexiness going on there on Patreon. So check them out over there. I believe that it's like $6 a month or something. So it's really not very much. Do it. Support your local artists. Yay.
Thank you.
And I am working on, I don't even know what, I guess wrapping Christmas presents and finishing up some of the handmade things I'm doing for that. And then who knows what's going to happen. It's the new year full of possibilities. Maybe I'll write some fanfic and go crazy. Yeah. Who knows? Will I get my Steady Hands Christmas fic posted before Christmas Day?
Maybe.
Oh, it's a mystery. It is written. All I need to do is post it, but that's such a challenge sometimes. So we'll see. I am Ringa Sunn, RINGASUNN on every freaking social media app. And I am spooky, scary genderfuck on AO3. And so find me, follow me, and make it weird.
Yes.
It's been 50 freaking episodes of this podcast, and this is the first Stizzy one, which is nuts.
Madness. Wow. We were saving the best for 50th.
Must be. But yeah, everybody who is listening, thank you for listening. You can follow us on Instagram. Our flag means fanfiction, all one word. And we are on Blue Sky, and we have a YouTube page, which is where our Gay Pirate News Hour goes. And definitely go follow us there. There's lots of memes. There's little random live things that pop up. There's announcements when some stuff's going on. We have done a couple contests, and like and subscribe to our stuff wherever you listen to podcasts, and leave us good reviews, and we'll probably read them on the show because we really like compliments.
We need your approval.
And if you have
singles need your approval now.
If you have comments on anything we've said in this episode, we'd love to hear that too. So just hit us up. And until next time, I forget the sign-off phrase, but it's something like be cringe and do creations and commit crimes. Sorry, Carly. Hopefully I got that right.
Nailed it.